Hello my lovelies, and welcome back to Sandra and Tarot. This is your fifth and final part of my Deck Strength versus Weakness series. Our featured deck of the month for April 2024 is the Out of Hand Tarot by Jamie Sawyer. This is a 2022 indie Kickstarter deck, and today we're going to be covering Oracle decks, specifically anti-pairs. And if you missed the previous portions, look in the description box down below. You'll find links to sections 1 through 4. Alright, I had only pulled 6 decks for you to look at. So we'll go through these fairly quickly. We're going to start off with indie decks. This is the From Roots to Blooms Oracle. Okay. This one's actually fairly interesting for an Oracle deck. And just because it's an anti-pair, it's not because this is a monochrome a deck or the aesthetics automatically. Believe it or not, the artwork is not the reason why these two don't pair. And yes, this is a monochrome deck. Believe it or not, the reason why these two don't pair is because this is very heavy in earth energy. From roots to blooms, it's all about plants and the ground and all that jazz. In which case, it's a little too heavy on the earth influence that the Out of Hand Tarot doesn't want to play nicety nice. And to keep the ball rolling, this is the Familiar Spirit Oracle. Now, if you look closely at this deck, you'll notice this is an animal and the eyes are left blank. So here's me knowing that all the eyes are blank in this deck. Just utterly just a white blank space. I thought the reason why this didn't pair was probably because of the artwork, you know, because I've had that with this particular deck before. You know, the decks look at the no eyeball thing and go, hey, creepy eye, and don't want to play with it. However, the Out of Hand Tarot does have issues with mythical creatures. And there is a couple mythical creatures in here. We've seen the Phoenix, we've seen the Unicorn, and there's others in here as well. But that's not the reason why these two don't pair. It's a strength versus weakness issue. And just a quick recap for those that need the reminder or those that are just joining us. The strength of the Out of Hand Tarot is career. The weakness is spirituality. So the strength and or weakness clashes between these two decks. Alright, so we're going to move on to our last indie deck, and then we'll move on to mass market. This is the Soul Care Oracle by Sarah McCormick. In case those of you who are not familiar. This deck actually has a wide variety of things in it. It's got elements, it's got planets, it's got zodiac, you know, it's got moon phases. So I thought, okay, too much, you know, astrology, right? Wrong. The reason why these two do not pair is because the Out of Hand Tarot doesn't like the artwork. So the astrology portion, which is what I thought might trigger this for being an anti-pair, is not entirely true. See, sometimes decks can surprise you, hence why we catalog things like this. It makes it useful. Alright, my lovelies, we're on to mass market now. And here's one that some of you probably will not be happy with. Alright, this is the Tea Leaf Oracle. And this is a fantastic oracle. Whoops, and sorry, my deck pile just kind of slid. There we go, now it's fixed. I was actually a little sad that these two don't play nicety nice. Because, hey, a big career focus deck, and then you've got all these little nuances that you could use to, you know, pull themes or underlines or, you know, big focus cards on certain areas, and it doesn't pair. It literally doesn't pair, and it's kind of not fair in my opinion, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. The Out of Hand Tarot does not like the artwork and the Tea Leaf Oracle, so they do not pair. Alright, moving right along. Here is a deck you may or may not recognize. This is one of MJ's decks. This is the Urban Crow Tarot. Now, I could say quite a lot about what might make these two an anti-pair. I could say it's the keywords. I could say, well, it's too heavy on air because there's crows all over the deck. I could say that the Out of Hand Tarot doesn't like the artwork. I could say it's a strength versus weakness issue. Unfortunately, the best way to describe the problem is theme. It doesn't like the theme. It doesn't like that it's all crows. It's all one animal. And I did not feature it in my anti-pairs tarot video, but I do have a theme deck that also did not pair because of the theme. And because that deck will be featured in the near future, I didn't bother to list it here for the Out of Hand. Because unfortunately, scheduling issues, I'm running a little bit behind on this particular series. Anyway, last mass market I'm going to show you. This is the Earth Magic Tarot by Stephen D. Farmer. A lot of you will recognize the double tree as above so below backing. And this is another one of those that I could say a couple different things that could be the reason why these two don't pair. Number one, I could say that this has too much earth energy, but that's not true. That's not why these two do not pair. I could also say that the artwork, because let's face it, these are two different art styles, would be it. However, the Out of Hand Tarot has some issue with the keywords. And you get a title and then you get, you know, a keyword. So you have both. But some of these are really narrow and some of these are really vague. So with that, the Out of Hand Tarot doesn't exactly like it. It's a keyword issue. Not the first deck that I've had that will have issues with certain keywords, depending on the deck. Alright, we went through 6 decks really quickly. I do have more decks than that are anti-pairs for the Out of Hand Tarot. You may find that in the description box down below. You'll also find links to parts 1 through 4. And for those of you that are interested in it, I do have playlists for the deck strength versus weakness, which is part 1 of each featured deck of the month. I also have a playlist for perfect pairs and a playlist for anti-pairs, just to kind of sort it out so you can actually scroll back in a particular field and watch those from the beginning if you have only a certain area you are focused on or would like to watch. Alright, my lovelies, I hope this was informative, very entertaining for you with my little cross-categorization I've got going on here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!